Chess friends, Infinitive Chess game is unlimited chess moves game, where nobody can improve his position, but the game goes on. It's not threefold repetition moves or king versus king end game. And today I will show you infinite chess game, 500 moves. I am not lying, you can check my description box to see the chess PGN. And this is your today's puzzle. This is 80 IQ puzzle. Solve the puzzle and write the answer in my comment section. Okay, let's go to the game. My opponent is Google AlphaZero, so I started with d4, we have knight f6, c4 by me. Again I prefer you to play e6, then d5, or g6, bishop here, like my previous video, but Alpha played d6, he want this, knight goes to c3, here comes e5, I pushed the d pawn, knight b goes to d7, e4 by me. It is the exact same opening like our previous game. If you haven't seen that game, then you can watch that game, link in the description box, Stockfish Course 2. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, so you will never miss any latest contents. Okay, knight comes to c5, we have queen c2, Alpha pushed his pawn, bishop comes to e3, bishop here, we have h3, Alpha played castle, bishop captures knight, pawn takes bishop. Okay, I can play castle, and normal moves like knight here, kingside pawn pushing in the long term, and bar count rebellion on queenside, a4 doesn't create any effects, then push the pawn, everything will be fine. Knight and queen protecting this temporarily. So, we have castle, queen up to d6, last game we showed bishop d6, now we have queen d6, king slides on b1, getting out from this diagonal, knight back to e8, knight comes to f3, we have bishop f6, but best move was to play queen f6, because now I can play g4, g5, start pushing kingside pawn, knight here, targeting this, and the knight have a permanent attack, but I mistakenly played h4, I don't know why my mouse slipped, queen e7, we have g3, bishop comes to g4, bishop to e2, we have knight d7, knight back to e1. Bishop back to d1, knight on g2, rook goes to e8, you might think I am willing to push the pawn, but if f4 happen, then pawn takes f4, knight takes, then bishop takes, you have to take it with your queen, then knight takes e4, black will get this open file, your center and kingside pawn structure is very weak to defend black's attack, so, back to the position, I played rook f1, still, it's not f4 in my next move, ha 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 ha, h6 by Alpha, as I told you f4 is not possible, because this key pawn will be targeted by 3 pieces after pawn takes f4, e4 pawn is your key pawn, so save it, so, I played queen c1, we have b6, I played a3, bishop backs, we have king up to a2, bishop comes to a6, knight goes to e3, we have g6, rook slides on g1, bishop back to c8, queen slides on d1, king up to g7, queen goes to f1, king on h7, I played h5, he pushed the pawn, bishop back to d1, bishop on g7, g5 by me, bishop a6, bishop a4, we have rook b8, queen e2 by me, bishop back c8, bishop enters c6, bishop on a6, rook up to h3, rook slides on d8, bishop back to a4, this position is totally locked, we can't get any big advantages until one of us make white square progress. If black manage to support this pawn, and play c6, then it will be very bad because the knights will be very active, and the knight of f5 square, the white bishop and the knight have to defense this squares, so, king back to g8, bishop comes to c6, rook here by Alpha, knight comes to f5, there is no reason to take the knight, so, we have queen f6, if you think. Try to re-rotate the knight and give a support to the knight, but it's not so easy, because if knight d1 happen then bishop takes c4 will be a fork to the king and queen, so, we have knight back to e3 protecting this, wait a minute, see this position, bishop can't attack it, because the queen is targeted by the knight, if bishop takes, then queen takes, knight takes queen and you will lose a piece, that's why he played queen f6. King here, you might think, knight here, then push the pawn, try to break the position, but it's not so good. Because after knight takes, black will get open file and my king position is very bad, so, king d2, try to get a good place for my king.
$2,000 later.
And the game goes on, none make progress, because of the closed position. 10 billions moves later, we adjusted with a draw. Don't forget to solve the puzzle answer. Wish you all the best, thanks for watching, subscribe for more, bye bye, take care.